Today I'm reacting to your wrestling hot takes. Hot Takes is a weekly video series where I give you all a platform to be able to voice your thoughts, whether they're good thoughts, bad thoughts, or everything in between about the current state of professional wrestling. So if you want your hot takes featured in next week's hot takes video, make sure that you're following me on X because I ask for your hot take after every episode of Raw, SmackDown, and every WWE Premium Live event. And yes, folks, I'm traveling. I'm currently at TwitchCon, which is why you're seeing the messy hotel room in the back. But don't forget to subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications. If you're a wrestling fan, you're gonna fall in love with his YouTube channel because we always upload daily wrestling content. Clearly, like even while traveling. All right, let's read your stupid shit. The Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns segment was the best produced and executed segment of the Triple H era. I think I agree with you here. You got me thinking here. I went back into my brain, into my archive of wrestling thoughts, and I cannot think of a better overall produced from head to toe segment under the current Triple H regime, and I'm having a hard time thinking of very many from the Vince McMahon era as is. This was top tier television. It literally felt like a movie. I hate using the term cinema because of how overused it's become, but this was quite seriously as close as you come to the definition of cinema in professional wrestling. The production, the script, the music, the lighting, everything about this, the camera shots, dude, it was executed to perfection. This was one of the coolest things that WWE has done, and it did such a fantastic job at reminding you that yes, this is a badass super team, but these are two guys that absolutely despise each other. It really helped create a clear vision of what the stakes are for somebody like Roman Reigns. To me, this did everything that it needed to do and more. More than anything, I feel like this was the real introduction of the current modern version of Roman Reigns. We'd obviously seen him come back, be fighting with the bloodline, but this was his first real promo with real substance in it. And now what we have is this new tribalist tribal chief character of Roman Reigns that was unveiled in this promo. You can still see his confidence while at the same time seeing a vulnerability that you've never seen before. Him understanding that the rules of the game have changed. He knows he doesn't have his Jimmy. He doesn't have his wise man, that he now needs to get help from somebody he would have never asked help from. This is the introduction of the new 2024 babyface Roman Reigns. That's what we saw in this. And if I can add a bit further to Cody Rhodes, I feel like this was the introduction of I'm at the top of the mountain Cody Rhodes, because yes, he has been the champion, but for a long time, a lot of us have thought, well, until Roman comes back or until this other person comes back. But because Roman had that sense of vulnerability about him and Cody Rhodes didn't, Cody Rhodes had the aura actually of the top guy in the WWE. This also, to me, served as the reintroduction of Cody Rhodes as the top guy in the WWE, the top of the mountain guy. This was brilliant. Having Carmelo Hayes and Andrade finish their feud at Bad Blood in a best of 7 would be a great decision. I hope they make a stipulation like a street fight or a Hell in a Cell. So I'm convinced this needs to end at Bad Blood. The storyline is getting really good. The matches are fantastic. We have Game 6 next week, which gives us just enough time to build to a hype Game 7 at Bad Blood. And it doesn't really need a lot of time to build up to a Game 7 because we've been building up to this for a long time. So even if it's just a week and a half, 2 weeks between Game 6 and Game 7, you can still pull it off because of the story that you've already been telling for the past 3 months. I actually disagree with you here, my friend, when you said this needs to be a Hell in a Cell or a street fight or that it needs some sort of a stipulation. I feel like just the hype of Game 7 alone is good enough to warrant being on the PLE. The stakes are serious enough to be on a big stage. Because a lot of the times you want to add stipulations to really enhance the importance or enhance the overall narrative being told by the people in the ring, but this is a unique situation. We have a best of 7 series in our hand, and that to me is the stipulation. Who is going to win Game 7? Who is the best man out of the two after 7 matches? I want this to be exactly like how every single one of their other matches has been, just a straight up one-on-one, hombre a hombre, mano a mano, who is the very very best. I feel like adding a stipulation at the very end actually feels like a bit of a weird finish line for me. Triple H should not take too long for Kevin Owens' heel turn after tonight's tease. Well, asking Triple H to not take too long with teases and whatnot, I feel like you might be setting yourself up for failure, because that is the Triple H era, having to wait for the major payoff. But we didn't get it at Bash in Berlin. They teased the hell out of it leading into that. Maybe now that there's real concrete evidence that Cody Rhodes is teaming up with Roman Reigns, the guy that has made Kevin Owens' life a miserable existence since 2020, I feel like we have a justified heel turn that would make sense in like a decent amount of time. Because into Bash in Berlin, like, Cody and Roman weren't really teaming up. It was Roman that came out to somewhat help Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, but really you could tell that his motivation was to really take out Solo Sikoa. But this time, this is different. They're teaming up, and a Kevin Owens heel turn, not only do I see it in the near future, but it's entirely justified. Maybe this won't be a heel turn in the traditional sense. Maybe this is still just a babyface that now hates another babyface. Maybe outside of the relationship between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes, maybe Kevin Owens is still babyface. Maybe he's still buds with Randy. Maybe he still buds with DIY and the Street Profits. It's just beefing with Cody Rhodes. I feel like that would be interesting. I think nowadays you can explore deeper characters beyond just the traditional cookie cutter good guy, bad guy. Maybe we have a guy that's morally teetering the line in Kevin Owens, and if anyone can play that role, it's Kevin. As much as I've disliked the Solo versus Cody stuff, it's clear after tonight that the Bloodline saga is still on top, and I don't think that we will ever see a story told like it again in professional wrestling. There is a cardinal rule in professional wrestling: just never say never. I mean, it could absolutely come back full circle, and we could get something just as good or more amazing than the Bloodline. You never know. But it is hard to envision something this intricate, this well played out for half a decade now at this point. I have a hard time seeing how that gets replicated again, but it will at some point. It's funny, I feel like the Cody and Roman stuff, if I can make a Marvel reference, might go down as like the Avengers Age of Ultron, where people at the time were like, it's not Thanos, it's not the Infinity Saga, but I guess. And then now that time has passed, a lot of people are starting to fall in love and realize how good Age of Ultron actually was. Maybe that's how we'll remember the Solo Sikoa mini boss arc here with the Bloodline. Maybe he is Ultron. Hey, if you didn't watch the MCU, I'm sorry, that just completely went over your head. Sorry. LA Knight versus Andrade was great, and it is totally refreshing to see the United States title being defended on a regular basis. The megastar would have defended it at least 4 to 5 times on SmackDown shows before he defends it on a future PLE. It's a great sign. It seems like this might just be the formula for mid-card titles across both brands, where we save mid-card matches for major PLEs when it makes sense, when there's been enough defenses for the champion under their belt and their resume has grown. It seems like that's what we're doing with Braun Breaker. It seems like that's what we're doing with LA Knight, and in both regards, we've been getting fantastic title defenses on free TV, and frankly, I'm all on board with it. On top of that, we have WWE and USA Network creating this new partnership with SmackDown, so I get it from USA's perspective to want to have something of substance on their show that is stakes, that is championships, that feels special, and the United States Championship can absolutely be that thing. So yeah, I feel like you need to actually expect these mid-card titles to more often than not be defended on Raws and SmackDowns as opposed to PLEs, but I think on the major PLEs you will get these mid-card title defenses. Not a hot take, but this picture goes hard. You're in my way. You're in my way in life. Not only was the picture hard, man, but like the quote was fantastic. Everything about this was so good, man. This was fantastic. Kept seeing justice for Ricky signs tonight, and we still want Ricky. Don't let the world forget. WWE wants you to forget about Ricky now. They're burying him. They're making him as if he was non-canon, as if he never existed. Ricky is still that goddamn guy. You know what's funny? This is how bad Def Rebel's entrance themes are, because when Kevin Owens was getting beat up on this episode of SmackDown and DIY's music hit, I couldn't instantly recognize that it was DIY. My dumbass thought Ricky was coming out to save Kevin Owens. So I guess a different thought. Bye. Death Rebel, see you never. Owens should turn on Cody at Bad Blood, leading to Roman getting pinned and being left with absolutely nothing as he tries to scramble the OG Bloodline members back to gain back his power that he lost. This is actually not bad. I kind of like the idea of this. Kevin Owens costing both Roman and Cody Rhodes the championship would be a nuclear level type of turn. Because now that would be Kevin Owens turning on the two biggest baby faces that the company has seen in the past 10 years. One, entirely justified in Roman Reigns because they're not buddies, but two, one that will actually break your heart in him breaking his relationship with Cody Rhodes. I like this. Again, it would build in that vulnerable Roman Reigns as he tries to rebuild his fallen kingdom. I think you cooked here, bro. Cody cooked Roman during their segment. Roman had to acknowledge that Cody had been right about his status being taken away from him. Roman actually has to deal with the ramifications of his actions during his reign. We wouldn't have that if Roman won at WrestleMania 40. This is great. This is phenomenal long-term character arcs and changes in psychology for characters that Triple H has clearly become a master at. We talked about earlier how this segment just felt like the reintroduction of this new Roman Reigns and the reintroduction of the final boss, per se, Cody Rhodes, if that's how you want to use that moniker. I love the almost like change in narrative that these two have had. I like that Cody got the better of him in this promo, in my opinion. I like that Roman had to be the one that had to kind of extend the hand and say, so what do you want? What is it that you want? Again, I can't talk more highly about this segment. One of the best segments that I've seen in professional wrestling in an incredibly long time. Six-man tag match main events on SmackDown are starting to feel like Cody with the Judgment Day. Yeah, because we're building up to Survivor Series, and that's what happened last year in the build-up to Survivor Series War Games. We're going to be seeing this a lot more, so strap in and get used to it. I just love how the Bloodline story continues to expand into different avenues. You've got Cody and Roman teaming up, which is already crazy in itself, but now Kevin Owens and soon potentially others will view that as a sign of betrayal, making Cody look like the villain. Cinema. So yeah, we talked quite a bit about this already, but can I add one more about this like Bloodline story and why I really like what's going on right now? It's not just building the main event guys. The tag team division is being brought alongside of it. Like we have DIY and the Street Profits like in the heat, in the mix of this. And this is actually something that Triple H has struggled in the past with his booking of factions that are in the main event scene holding the tag titles. We see the struggle over on Monday Night Raw. It was a bit of a struggle when the Usos were the tag team champions for the final days of the Bloodline reign. And I feel like they figured it out here. They found a nice, happy balance where the tag titles are still part of the tag team story while still being part of the main event, which means that it elevates the tag team division to feel like the main event. Like the tag team division, really, if you think about it, they close this episode of SmackDown. If any wrestler deserves their flowers for committing to their character work, it's Chelsea Green. Amazing, right? Like the whole trash segment. I am confident that this trash match is going to be absolutely fantastic. Chelsea Green is going to get put into this dumpster and it's going to be gold because everything that she does it at such an incredibly highly entertaining level that Chelsea Green is one of the best things going in the world of the WWE right now. I feel like Roman's promo kind of buried the whole Solo tribal chief. This man absolutely cooked and felt more like a tribal chief in one segment than Solo has since Roman's absence. Gotta be honest with you, brother, I think we were watching different shows. Not only did Roman put over Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline by saying, they took everything from me. They took my Ulafala, they took my Wise Man, they took my Jimmy. And not only did that put over Solo Sikoa and this new Bloodline as a threat to eliminate Roman Reigns, but it forced the two super duper uber baby faces to join forces to take them out. And then you even had Cody Rhodes in that promo say, Sorry, Roman, you ain't the tribal chief. We already have one, and his name is Solo Sikoa. So, maybe we were watching different episodes, man. Naomi was the star of this match, but if it turns into a triple threat at Bad Blood, I know she's gonna take the pin. You know, I actually would have been a bit more intrigued and more interested if one of these two actually went over to Monday Night Raw with a loss here, because Monday Night Raw could have really used either a Naomi or a Bayley, but we didn't get to that point. I think you're right. I think if they do a triple threat match, that it would be Naomi taking the L here, but I don't think that it's going to go into a triple threat match. I think that once they do the number one contender match, that we're going to have a definitive winner here. And realistically, neither of these two are the end game. The end game is something to do with Tiffany Stratton. I already see that writing on the wall. Tama Tonga has the potential to be a great mic worker. He's already showing he has what it takes to be a top star. Yeah. Tama Tonga's promo is great. I love that he's leaning into the craziness of his like Nigel Thornberry's thing that he does with the dude. I do think that there's something there, but to a degree, it's going to be hard to take him seriously, as you said, as a top star with the I think that he's going to be best suited as one of the Lion King hyenas, one of the guys that's there to pick the scraps of the bones for the bigger, badder guy within the group. In this case, Solo Sikoa. But I think that Tama Tonga is fantastic overall. Mello telling Andrade to put the fries in the bag is one of the main reasons why I need Mello to win this series in the end. That was fucking hilarious, and it sparked one of the better backstage brawls that I've seen in a while. It actually looked like they were legitimately trying to hurt each other. Like Andrade's trying to do like sweep leg takedowns on concrete floor on Mello. Like it looked like it got genuinely heated there for a second, which is why we're going to go back to the previous point. This shit needs to be at Bad Blood, man. It's so good. They've built it so damn well. Vinci versus Cruz is going to be the biggest feud of the year. What's funny is that this hot take is immediately followed by Triple H is pissing me off with this Vinci shit. So we're split. Like it's literally like half and half. Some people love what's going on with Giovanni Vinci. Some people hate it. I'm still on the camp that I love it because we're talking about Vinci. If Vinci was winning these meaningless matches, I don't think that we talk about him as much as we are, but is him taking these ridiculous L's is creating a buzz-worthy topic. And it's not as if this time around he got punked out. Yeah, he lost in another silly way, but he got his back with that beatdown of Cruz after the match. The Bloodline promo reminded me of these three. Dude, they are the three hyenas from the Lion King. Solo is Scar from the Lion King, who literally took away the pride from Mufasa and their actual tribal chief in terms of descendant in Simba. Like, we're actually watching the Lion King take place right now, folks. Does that make Cody Rhodes Nala? Which would be Roman's girlfriend? That elbow that Andrade uses should become his finisher. It's so sudden and the impact is incredible. I can totally see that knocking out an opponent to a 3 count. I dare say it's even better than Chris Jericho's Judas effect. Don't dare say it. It is better than Chris Jericho's Judas effect. Whenever Andrade hits that move, always, every single time, it catches me off guard. And every single time, I let out an audible, holy shit, without a doubt, every single time. I agree. That should be the finisher. I like that it comes out of nowhere. It looks real. It sounds nasty. It's got all the elements of a great finisher. It should be his finisher. All right, folks, thank you so much for watching this episode of Hot Takes. That's it. I'm done. Get out of here.